We good? We good? Are we good? I still haven't clipped my nails. Why? Ay. Whoa. Hello? Is anyone there? I'm letting it go for a little bit. See if it works. See if we're live as well. Hopefully we do it. And it looks like we are live. And we are live. I'm not gonna stress about it too much. Just hope. I don't want a direct message. Why? I don't want a direct message. Does it link me to YouTube? Or, no. Why? I mean, yeah, it did link me to YouTube. Ugh. Yeah, hi. Ugh. I'm all over the place. I'm using my phone. Omlet wouldn't let me use my phone. And I'm charging my keyboard too, so. I got this to work. Hopefully I can get to my Google Doc without issue. Oh, don't fall asleep. Features. Our friends. Stumpy. Squishy. Very interesting way to say it. And weird. Oh, there he is. And more characters. And more add characters. Oops. As. Oh, not add. As. You can't see it, but I'm making a ton of mistakes. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, part anyway. Gonna give it another minute. Thank you. Here it is. Live now. Hopefully this works. Eesh. Peaced. Hopefully this works. I'm going to press the home button. Hi. I'm going to press the home button. Okay. That is a good sign. That is a good sign. That's not going to crash the stream. Something happened and it crashed the stream and I couldn't do that. But it looks like we're just fine. Good news. We're just fine. Probably was something to do with Google Docs crashing or something, and then Omlet kind of just like, what is going on? I'm just gonna stop it. Stop and hope it doesn't break my app too. I don't know what it was. But yeah. We're working. We're going somewhere. Yeah. I can't really move my keyboard very much because the plug for this is not very stable. It works better if it's plugged in on a flat surface. But it works. Just charging it up. I don't have to have it on. Charges faster. I don't have it on. Yep. Okay, I can see you guys. Now I'm going to try to scroll down without giving any spoilers. We left at a cliffhanger. Something happened. Sam got reunited with Connor, one of his old friends back in his original world, but something went wrong. And now we go to Stampy's perspective, where things get very intense and scary. Scary indeed. Chapter 4. It can get dark. The story can get dark. But I don't think it's that dark yet. It's not that dark. I have tried to brighten up it up a little bit. Not as dark. Alright, we made it to chapter 6. Whew. Don't have to worry about that infamous chapter 3. For some reason. It's like I recorded a video. It's like a series so far. I made it past 3 episodes without any trouble. I've actually done 5 episodes. And then chapter 3 of this book caused issues. Something about 3 on my channel was just interesting. Yep, this crazy too on our 3rd episode. I'm just like, there's a coincidence. That's okay. Like, it happens. Bedrock does stuff. Recordings do stuff. I'm still charging. I just start like this, so that. Right, let's do this. I didn't get a water bottle. Oh boy, I'll be back. Feel free to read it a little bit. Alright, we're back. Eat up. I just went into my fridge and grabbed my purple water bottle that you never see. But it's my personal one. Reusable. Yeah. It's really quick to grab. And it's full anyway, and I need water. This is going to be interesting. I think we are ready to go. Let's get started. Chapter numero 6. Chapter 6. Try to zoom in a little bit. Good. Very good. Chapter 6. Stampy was walking with a start. By the sound of low growling. The cat was momentarily confused as to what he was hearing. Was he still dreaming? Why was Barnaby growling? Suddenly, he heard a yelp of pain that set him sitting upright. The cat looked up to see that there was a tall, broad-shouldered man standing by his balcony doorway, shoving a limp form to the ground. Barnaby had been knocked unconscious in the attempt of stopping the man. The man smiled at the cat as he approached. The cat stunned and shaken. How nice to see you again, cat. The cat's eyes widened as he recognized the voice, knowing where he remembered this man. He'd been one of the men who had forced him to be imprisoned in his own room, and the only man who had threatened to kill him. I see you remember me, don't you? The man said, as he kicked the limp form of the dog further away. Oh, don't look so startled. I didn't kill your dog. I only came for you. Why are you here? The cat stuttered, not sure if he should attempt to run. The man had to be faster, and knowing he would try to do that. You know why, cat, the man smiled. I'm here to finish my promise, now that there is no one to stop me. The memory washed back to him, causing him to shudder. The man was drawing even closer, closing off any way of escape. You don't have to do this, the cat insisted, trying to plead, to reason with this man. No one else is willing to do it, the man sneered as he reached for the cat. The cat cried out in fear as the man grabbed him. Tightening his grip on the captive struggled. "Let me go, please! Someone help!" the cat cried as he struggled. The man tightening his grip. "Stop struggling, cat. Otherwise I'll make sure you'll suffer far worse than I originally planned," the man threatened. The cat whimpered softly, squirming as he was dragged from his bed towards his balcony. "Please, don't do this," the cat pleaded, as the man led him towards the opening to the balcony that led down to the water. Was the man going to drown him on his own? He probably was strong enough. Or was there something else he planned for him? The man jumped, dragging the cat behind him as they fell into the cold water. The cat gasped for breath as they reached the surface, straining to keep his head above the water as the man dragged him onto the shore. The cat shivered with cold as the man pulled him away from his home, towards the town, passing William's cave as he did so. Should the cat cry for help? Would William even be in there? He had to try. But the man held the struggling cat tighter, squeezing the air out of him. The cat coughed in pain, tears forming in his eyes as he fought back harder. "Help!" the cat cried again, his cries turning into groans as the man pulled him past the skyscraper towards the nearest ocean. The cat could feel the tears falling harder, shivering with cold. What was this man going to do to him? Suddenly, they arrived at the edge of the ocean, the cat looking out onto the waves, which seemed higher than he remembered. It looked terrifying and hungry. It was cold and frightened. "Please, don't do this," the cat begged the man, who gasped with pain as the man began dragging him towards the water, and the cat could feel the waves rising up as they went deeper and deeper. How far was this man willing to go to do this? "Any last words, cat?" the man asked in amusement as they were waist level deep in the water. The man loosened his grip on the cat slightly, making it easier for him to breathe. The cat shook his head, tears in his eyes. "Why are you doing this?" "You disobeyed one simple rule I gave you, cat. No contact. Because of that, you lost everything. You paid for that," the man sneered. "But you imprisoned me, trapped me in my own room, and expected me to be okay with it. You even threatened me. What else was I to do?" the cat demanded. "You were even willing to betray me to my own enemies, which was something you weren't supposed to do in the first place." "Sacrifices had to be made, cat," the man sneered. "And yours definitely one of them." Before the cat could say any more, the man shoved him under the water. The cat held his breath, struggling against the man who was pinning him down. The water was dark and frightening, as he could hear nothing other than the muffled tones of the surface. The cat wanted to scream. He wanted to see everything. He wanted to use everything he had to fight this man, but he was too weak, too tired to fight him. The man was intent on finishing him in the worst way possible. The cat could feel his consciousness fading as he struggled. Where were his friends? Surely they'd heard his cries for help, right? What if they weren't coming? What if... Suddenly, the pressure that the man was forcing on him was suddenly lifted, as he too was pushed underwater. The cat watched in surprise as Squid tackled the man under the water. The cat struggled to swim to the surface, breaking the tide as he did so, gasping for air. Squid. The cat looked around and suddenly realized that he was starting to drift away from the shore. The cat pushed harder against the waves, fighting to get to the shore, but he was too tired, too weak. "Stampy!" a voice called. The cat looked on the shore to find Sam, Martin, and Jimmy running towards them. The cat felt a wave of relief filling him as he struggled harder to get to them. But no matter how hard he tried, he was quickly losing strength. "Help!" the cat cried as he felt himself growing colder and colder, more exhausted as he struggled. He felt himself sinking in the as the waves crashed higher and higher, feeling like he could give up right there. "I got you," a voice said beside him as he was lifted out of the water. The cat looked over to find Squid beside him, keeping himself afloat rather easily. The cat grabbed onto the squid and held on tight. He was safe. Squid pushed himself towards the shore, splitting the water rather easily as they neared the shore. The cat could see that his friends were waiting for them, all of them looking both relieved and concerned. All the cat wanted was warmth. He wanted to be in bed, warm and safe, far from the water, far from the man, far from any danger. So suddenly the man hit back at him as he turned to look over his shoulder. The cat gasped in horror as he noticed the man was gaining on them, looking both furious and stunned. He was probably recovering from what Squid had done to him. "Hurry!" The cat pleaded to the squid as he held him tighter, kicking his legs as he tried as hard as he could. The man was gaining ground, and fast. Suddenly, the cat saw arrows flying over their heads as he looked to see that Martin and Jimmy were shooting at the man. Bows and arrows. The cat could see the boy reaching out to them, ready to pull them to safety. They were only a few feet away. But before the cat could celebrate, he felt someone grab him by the ankle and begin to pull him down. The cat cried out and he kicked harder, feeling himself losing his hold on Squid. He looked down to see the man had dove under to avoid the arrows and had grabbed him, trying to pull him under. Squid looked down as well and let his friend go as he dove under to go after the man again. The cat struggled to stay afloat, swimming to pull the man from him as a hand grabbed his and began pulling him back from the man. The man was forced to let go, to stop from the man. The cat could feel arms wrap around him as he was pulled from the water, shivering as he leaned against the warm body as he was taking the safe distance. The cat looked up to see that Sam was right beside him, helping him sit so he could breathe normally. His heart still racing. His boy pulled him closer, shivering. The boy told his friend softly, not accusingly. He smiled weakly. "Cold, wet, and tired. What do you expect?" The boy shook his head and smiled. "Glad you're okay." "Yeah," the cat nodded. "Squid practically saved my life. All of you did." "Yeah," the boy said with a nod. "At least we were able to get to you in time." The cat nodded, too tired to say any more than that, as he closed his eyes, still cold and wet. Suddenly, he felt something warm being wrapped around his shoulders. Blanket? Towel? To be fair, it didn't matter what it was. It at least helped the cold. The cat let out a long sigh as he lay there, feeling safe and unafraid. There was no more raging waters, or a man determined to end him. He wasn't at risk of drowning, or freezing to death. His friends would take care of him. They always had. He was glad they were there. They had been there when he needed them the most. Chapter 7. The boy sat next to his friend, keeping the blankets that Martin had given the cat in order to keep his friends warm. It's going alright. I think it's supposed to be keeping on. But Grammarly's like, it didn't mean can't. Well, this sentence as a whole doesn't make sense. Well, you gotta say that. Alright. I'm not gonna touch it. Certainly had to stop the cat from shivering. The boy couldn't help but watch his friend, realizing just how close they had been to losing him. He was glad Squid had come in when he did. Otherwise, they'd probably have lost the cat. The boy doubted an unthinkable reality. The boy looked up to see Squid dragging up the unconscious form of the cat's attacker, looking both determined and a little angry. Clearly the man didn't know when to quit. Martin and Jimmy went over to help him, binding the man by his hands and feet so that he couldn't escape. The boy only watched until Squid bit his eye and went over. Squid didn't look any bit cold as he headed over, even though he too had been in the water. Then again, he was a squid. His natural environment was water. "How is he?" Squid asked the boy softly. "I suppose he's doing better. Oh, he looks pretty exhausted," the boy replied, looking down at the cat. "He's not shivering as much anymore, at least." "That's good," Squid said with a small smile, pulling the blanket higher so that it was just under the cat's chin. "He should probably get back to his bed, though. It really isn't safe here for him." "Nor for you guys either," the boy replied matter-of-factly. He glanced over at the man on the ground, bound. "And we still need to deal with him." Squid nodded. "She'll keep coming back to try to get to Stampy. I'm surprised at how bold of a move he did there, taking the cat out of his own room." "Well, the balcony doesn't really help with that, now does it?" the boy mused with a raised eyebrow. Squid shook his head. "No one has ever dared try to attack Stampy so outright. Besides, blasting a hole through the room of no requirement. No one has tried to get to him so easily." "Really? Not even hit the target?" the boy asked, showing surprise. "That's true." Except for the dream in Lovely Waterfall, but that was more of a dream sort of thing, not a physical hit to target attack. Interesting. The boy sounding surprised. The squid sighed. Not even him. The boy swallowed, not sure how to deal with this information. "Do you know whatever became of Barnaby?" "I have a feeling he was trying to help Stampy and failed," Squid replied. "Probably in his bedroom still." "Oh," the boy said, shaking his head sadly. "He must feel really worried right now. He'll be happy to know his master is safe, though." Squid reminded him. Yeah, the boy agreed. Then he looked back at the others, suddenly getting an idea. "I think I know a way where we can keep that man from coming back." "How?" Squid asked curiously, intrigued by the boy's statement. "How?" "I'm sure my aunt can handle him and find a place where he won't be bothering anyone anytime soon," the boy mused. "Especially when she finds out what he tried to do just now." Squid smirked. "I'm assuming she's that kind of person." "You don't want to mess with her when she's angry," the boy told him. Squid laughed. "I guess she has something in common with Stampy." Gotta make that joke. I have to. The boy smiled. "Yeah, it's good to know." They sat there for a long moment before seeing Martin and Jimmy approach them, looking curious as to what the two of them were talking about. "Is everything all right over here?" Martin asked curiously. "Yeah, everything's good," the boy said. "We were just figuring out what we were going to do with that man." "That's something I want to hear," Jimmy said eagerly. The boy told them what he had told Squid, giving them the directions. So the two of them would need to do this. To do the plan. Obviously. To do it. "Be sure to change the coordinates after you do it, though," the boy replied as an afterthought. "Just to be safe." "Will do," Jimmy said with a mischievous smile. "We'll make sure he has the most enjoyable journey he's had yet. I can't wait to hear it." The boy watched as the two YouTubers went back to grab the man and began to drag him towards where the portal would be. The boy had a feeling the man would be enjoying the punishment that would come next, especially if he woke up to find himself locked away from everything. Served him right for trying to destroy an innocent life. "Is it okay if I carry him back?" Squid asked the boy. taking the boy out of his thoughts. Yeah, of course, the boy said, as the YouTuber bent down and scooped up the cat. The boy making sure the blanket stayed wrapped around the cat as they walked back the way they had come. They hardly said much of anything as they headed back to the house. The boy didn't really have much to say anyway. The boy could soon see the house ahead as the doors opened and 3 figures ran out. They were Nettie, Squishy, and Connor. And at their heels was Barnaby. Sam! Squid! Squishy cried as she met up with them. First, taking in what she was seeing. What happened? Is he okay? Still hear me, right? And he's fine. He just fainted from the cold and exhaustion, Squid said in amusement. He'll be fine in the morning. That's good. Squishy. Ugh, not Squishy. Nettie sighed in relief. When Barnaby came into our room, you were so scared something really bad had happened. The boy looked down at the dog, who looked a little worse for wear. He smiled down at the dog. I think he deserves a pork chop after what he did today. I couldn't agree more, Squid said with a smile. Now, come on, I need to go get him inside. Can I come with you? Squishy asked the Squid. Yeah, the Squid nodded. And the two of them went inside, leaving the boy and the bush baby and Connor alone. How did you do it? Connor asked at last, after a long moment of silence. Where are Martin and Jimmy? They're taking care of that man, the boy told him. Once they're finished, they'll come back here. I'm glad everyone's okay, Nettie replied with a nod. It's really hard to imagine everything that had happened, though. Yeah, Connor said. When I heard that these guys were going to look for you, I wanted to come along. I would have stayed, but the dog wouldn't have it. The dog wouldn't have it. Sam laughed, realizing that Barnaby was still at his heels, limping slightly. The boy bent down and scooped the dog up. Barnaby squirmed a little, but didn't bite. Come on, the doghouse should have something for him. The two nodded as the boy carried the dog into the doghouse, laying him down so he could get some food for him. The boy gave the dog something to eat, which seemed to help. You think he'll be okay? Connor asked as the boy stood up. Sam nodded. I know one thing from Stampy's dogs is that they are tough. Nettie laughed. You got that right. Connor nodded. He looked at the dog to his friend. You sure the man won't come back? I don't think he'll be able to, even if he wanted to, the boy said confidently. Yep, the bush baby nodded. Besides, he'll think twice before messing with us again. That's good, Connor said, looking relieved. What about me? Sam hesitated, looking over at the bush baby with uncertainty. She shrugged, just as unsure he was. Finally, the boy said, right now, the best we can do is tell someone and see whether or not it's safe for you to return home. Oh man, my parents are going to be so mad when they find out. They said with a girl. Sam managed to smile, and at least they'll know you're safe. Connor smirked. Yeah, I guess you're right. Sam nodded as they began to walk back to the house, leaving the doghouse in the process. The boy opened the door for his two friends, who entered as he closed the door behind him. The boy couldn't believe just how much had changed in such a short amount of time. Only a few hours ago, the cat was safe and happy, and now he'd almost been killed by a man seeking revenge. It had been one of the men who had imprisoned the cat and his other friends. The man clearly had a nerve trying to get to the cat, which is glad the man had failed. They walked through the house until they made it to the cat's room. Sam went over to open the door, noticing Connor looking nervous. You okay? Sam asked the tall boy. Connor shrugged. I'm good. It's just... I don't know. I don't want him to know that I nearly caused all of this to happen. It's not your fault, Connor, Sam assured him. That was the man's choice. He lied to you. You didn't know what you were doing. What you were doing was wrong. I'm sure Stampy will understand that. You're sure? the boy asked with uncertainty. Sam is not one to hold grudges easily, the bush baby told him. He wants to see the best of people. None of us blame you for what happened. Nor will we ever. Connor nodded. Still, I don't think I could be in the same room as him quite yet. Not after what so nearly happened. I'm only going to check on him and let someone know you're here, Sam said. You don't have to come in with me if you don't think you can handle it. Connor nodded. I should have seen just how good friends you guys were when I was watching you. I just assumed. I assumed that you were their captive or something. Sam smiled and shook his head. You know me better than that. Connor smiled. I do now, and I think I can appreciate it better. You really are a good friend to these people. Sure is, Nettie agreed. Would you like me to stay out with you, Connor? You don't mind? Connor asked. She shook her head. Of course I don't mind. Connor smiled weakly. I would like that. Sam nodded. See you guys in a little bit then. Indeed, the bush baby said, as the boy opened the door and stepped inside. Sam took in the room, quickly seeing the squid and duckling sitting by the cat's bed, watching him. The boy looked down at the sleeping cat, looking comfortable in bed, surrounded by blankets to keep him warm. It had been a long night. They all had to be exhausted. Shouldn't you be heading off to bed, Sam? Squid, she asked with concern. You look pretty tired. Sam shrugged. I need to let someone know that Connor is here. So I wouldn't mind him staying here. I have a feeling it wouldn't really be safe for him. Well, we're not stopping you from making a call, Squid offered with a smile. I'm not staying here for very long either. Oh, Squid, she's staying the night. Sam nodded. Sounds like a good idea to me. For the time being, anyway. Yeah, the duckling agreed. I just don't want something to happen to him like that again. Neither do I, Squid replied. I think we should all talk about it more tomorrow. You need to make that call and get some rest. No excuses. Don't worry, I will, the boy said reassuringly, as he went over to the hidden room, hesitating to take out one last glance back to the cat. This was certainly a night he would not soon forget. He just hoped that they would find a reliable way to keep their friends and each other safe from any future attacks. He climbed the ladder, entering the room as he walked directly to the communicator, ready to make the call he knew he needed to make. But it would help him know that everyone he knew back at home was safe. The boy walked over to the communicator and put in some coordinates. Suddenly, he was immediately connected, though it took a long moment before a response. Hello? Who's this? It's me, Sam. I have something I need to tell you, the boy replied. Isn't it late for you? The boy asked with uncertainty. Change your clothes from all times, day or night, the boy mused. Okay, what happened? The boy said, getting to the point, sounding completely serious. The boy told him everything he could, from seeing Connor to rescuing the cat. He even told the man what part his aunt was playing in this little ordeal. Once he was done, there was a long pause, as if the person on the other end was thinking. Finally, the voice returned to the speaker. All right. I need to inform your aunt about this and see if she can pick up your friend tomorrow morning, the man replied. Is Stampy okay, though? He's fine, the boy assured him. We managed to handle it pretty well. Good. Still, be on your guard. No matter what you do, make sure no one is on their own. Not even you, the man said sternly. I've already been doing that, Levi. The boy said. Then keep it up. And don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it, the man told the boy. Yes, sir, the boy said with a nod. I guess that leaves me to go to bed then, doesn't it? You sound exhausted to me, the man said sincerely. Good night, Sam. And please, be careful. We all will be careful. Especially after what so nearly happened, the boy said. No doubt about it. After saying goodbye to the man, the boy went over to the ladder and climbed down, wondering if he would fall asleep as soon as his head hit the pillow. And if it did, I know it would work. How long would he sleep? Would he sleep? There was only one way to find out. And the sooner he went to bed, the sooner tomorrow would come. He hoped he was ready for it. He had to be. Chapter 8. Stampy woke up slowly, feeling warm and soft blankets surrounding him. He opened his eyes to find himself in his bed, wrapped in blankets, wondering how they had come to get there. Ugh. Why he had come to get there. The cat stared up at the ceiling as thoughts floated by in his mind. Questions that seemed just out of reach for him. As the cat lay there in silence, wanting to go back to sleep because of how warm and safe he felt, he heard of a familiar whine from a dog nearby. Then it all came back. The man walking into his room, his balcony, tossing Barnaby to the side as if he was nothing, and taking him. He still remembers the man dragging him into the cold water, attempting to end his life. The cat couldn't forget the look of triumph in the man's face, or the look of rage as he tried to pull him under, while he was trying to escape with Squid's help. The cat shuddered as the memory came back, feeling unsure of what was going on. Had he been the one watching him, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, when he least expected it? And in his bedroom? Was he anywhere safe anymore? Would he ever be alone again? The cat heard the whine again, and it pained him to hear how sad it was. Was Barnaby in pain? What had he missed? What were the others up to? He wasn't sure. The cat turned his head so he could look over to the dog's bed, finding Barnaby resting on the bed, mostly unharmed. The dog was looking at him, knowing that he was awake. The dog got up and limped over to the cat, putting his head on top of the mattress, looking at the cat with deep brown eyes. "Barnaby, you know you shouldn't be walking about yet," a voice said from behind him, as he heard someone getting up. The dog didn't budge until they were halfway around the bed, before leaping back to the dog bed guiltily. "Oh, poor Poochie." The cat looked as the yellow duckling slowly shaking her head with a small smile. Seeing her filled cat with happiness, he sat up in bed, letting the blankets fall. "Good morning, Squishy," the cat said. "You're awake," she said with surprise. "How are you feeling?" "Much better," the cat replied. "Though I am a little hungry, to be fair." She chuckled and pointed at the gate, over at the gate. "Well, it's over there if you want it." "I'm not on bed rest," the cat asked. "No, Stampy, you're not," she said in amusement. "Only Barnaby. He only needs to heal for a couple more days, and moving around isn't the best for him at the moment." "Makes sense," the cat said softly. "Are the others okay? What about—" "That man won't hurt you anytime soon." Sam and Rose made sure of that. The duckling reassured him. "The others are fine as well. They're probably discussing what to do now after what happened." "Is that why you're here? Keep an eye on me?" the cat asked. "You want to make sure you're safe? Even if it means making your room far safer than it is now." The cat swallowed. "I guess it does make me a little vulnerable, doesn't it?" "Yeah," the duckling replied with a sad smile. "But I'm sure we can work this out for everyone." "I'm glad," the cat said with a nod. They didn't say anything for a long moment, the cat debating whether or not he should see what was going on or not. And again, the first thing he knew he should do without question before anything else would do was to have his breakfast. That was a very wordy sentence. The cat pulled the covers back. "Be okay. As he put his feet on the floor, realizing that his iron boots weren't on his feet. Had they fallen off in the water, or had they been taken off for some other reason? He stared down at his feet, pondering on this. I can get you another pair if you want, she offered. After my breakfast, the cat told her. You clearly don't want me to be left on my own yet. The duckling smiled and nodded. All right, then. The cat nodded as he got to his feet and walked over to the table where the cake at first baked and warm to the touch. Clearly, the sun had taken his time to warm it to perfection. Now, not that it needed it. It would be perfect no matter what. The cat took his time eating the cake, enjoying each and every bite. Glad that he could continue eating the food that he loved so much. It felt like today would be a perfect day. Once the cat was finished, licking the remaining frosting off his paws, he looked back over at the duckling, who was waiting for him patiently. Patiently? Patiently. The cat smiled at her, and she returned it before holding out a hand. Ready to go, Debbie? Yeah, I do, the cat asked curiously. First to replace your boots, then to meet the others at the clubhouse, she replied. The cat nodded. You sure they won't mind? I know they won't. In fact, they'll probably be delighted to see that you're okay, she said. Am I really okay? The cat asked with uncertainty. You survived. I'm pretty sure that means you're okay, she replied. There's something we're missing? No, it's fine. Everything's fine, the cat said quickly. That's good, she said with a smile. Do you want to come or not? I'm coming, don't worry, she said, taking her hand. As they walked out of the door and into the storage room, the duckling found a new pair of iron boots and helped put them on the cat's feet. They were comfortable and working as they should, and not so worn through. It was perfect. After the boots were put on and they took a moment to admire them, they both headed to the other direction, towards where they would find the clubhouse, where the others would be. As they began to climb the steps up to the clubhouse, the cat suddenly felt uneasy. The feeling wasn't strong, but it felt like something wasn't quite right. The attack last night hadn't felt as real as it could have been. Even though the man was gone, it didn't seem to make things easier, especially when he thought about the other dangers that still lurked in the shadows. The cat tried to push the feeling aside. It probably wasn't anything important. After all, his friends had saved his life, and yet, why did he feel like something was off? That it happened too easy. Yummy, is everything alright? Duckling asked, noticing his silence. Yeah, I think so, the cat said quietly. Alright, the duckling replied, but the cat could tell that she wasn't completely convinced. They made it up the stairs, entering the clubhouse. The uneasy feeling went away as soon as the cat sighted his friends. He knew that he was safe with them. After all, had been with him through so much, he trusted them, and he was going to see them. He was glad to see them, just as they were to see him. Welcome back, Stampy, Squid said matter-of-factly, giving the cat a genuine smile. Glad to see you show up. Nice to see you too, the cat told his friend simply. How is everything doing here? The cat looked around the room, seeing that everyone was there. All the helpers, Nettie, Martin, Jimmy, well, Sam. All looking at him expectantly. The cat hadn't realized just how much support he had until he was surrounded by his group of friends. It was a bittersweet moment. Pretty good, actually, Martin told him, glancing at everyone before focusing back on the cat. Nothing much will be changing for you, at least. Besides some of us standing outside your door every night. Do you really have to do that? The cat asked. It's only temporary, Squid clarified, until we can figure out something better and safer. How about you guys? The cat asked Martin and his other friends. Last time I recall, you have a couple of days left before you return home. Yeah, Jimmy admitted in agreement. That's why your friends here have some stepping up to do. Do you think you can handle it? The cat asked, feeling uncertain and unsure. We can, and we will, Squish said, putting a hand on the cat's shoulder. Certainly, it's better than leaving you vulnerable. Having someone nearby will mean that we have a greater chance of stopping any more attacks. Stampy swallowed and nodded. This won't be imprisonment? No, Stampy, it won't, Squid replied. It's just for when everyone else is asleep. We'll still be doing everything that we usually do. It's just extra protection. And no one is being forced to leave either, the boy added, smirking in amusement. But the cat said, but last night was just one man. What happens if there are like 5, 10, even 20 men? We'll figure it out when the time comes, Squid replied. But I think Barnaby is a very good guy at getting help. He would have, the cat sighed. He wasn't trying to protect me. He's very loyal, and you can't really take that from him, Nettie said quietly. But I have a feeling he knows when more help would be needed. He's smart, too. You bet he is, Squid said with a chuckle. So there's no reason to worry, Snaps. We've got this under control. I bet he is. Why? The cat smiled gratefully, comforted by that fact. He could trust his friends. They wouldn't let anything happen to him. No one would get in their way when it came to ensuring his safety, and he needed to remember that. They were proof that the men had been wrong, and that he wanted to cling to that. Onto that. Oh, no. 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 Hang on. Hang on. Where were we? But part of him was still uneasy. Mr. A's men were far stronger than that one man had been. He knew that. Even Gerald was no match for him. The man had known the cat for far more than he realized. Knowing where to hit the mark, to bring him down. He observed him for months, and had done everything he could to capture him. Sure, the man had failed to capture him, but he was getting stronger each time. What would happen if the man finally succeeded in finishing what he started? Or Mr. A finally found a way to bring him to his knees, once and for all. The cat swallowed as he tried to push the thoughts out of his mind, wanting so badly to enjoy what he had and be happy. How could he be happy when Mr. A was plotting to ruin not just him, but every YouTuber? How many lives were at risk because of that man? How many lives were destroyed by that man's thirsty revenge of hatred? Every time he tried to push the awful thoughts from his mind, they kept rebounding back, giving him the feeling of uneasiness and fear. This wasn't over here. It was only the beginning. Tempe? Squish asked the cat softly, bringing the cat back to reality as he noticed everyone was watching him. The cat swallowed. He looked over towards her. I'm okay, the cat said with a sigh. I'm not sure how well this plan will work. It's not like the men haven't outsmarted us before. True, the boy agreed, but we have a better chance. Debbie swallowed and nodded again. I don't want all of this to fall apart, though. One mistake, everything could come crashing down. I don't know what else to do, but none of us are completely sure what is going to happen. Maybe so, Martin said thoughtfully, but people have been trying to stop these men for years, and managed to succeed. Sure, some live while others don't, but that's what this is all about. A battle for the YouTuber, a war between whether or not our kind has the right to live as freely as ourselves or not. We're just a smaller piece of the puzzle. Each victory we win brings us closer to winning the overall war. Do you think it's possible? The cat asked. letting what the YouTuber had said sink in. If we feel it's worth the sacrifice, it can be, Squid said confidently. And we're all worth fighting for, Stampy. As friends, and as always. Yeah, nodded and made a smile. I guess you guys have a point there. Oof. My leg is on the verge of falling asleep. The cat watched as everyone else nodded as the cat turned his head to look out the window. Feeling better about the ominous unknown future that lay before them. Sure, they had stopped one of the people who had betrayed him, and though he was nothing compared to the greater threat that was out there, at least he had his friends. It was probably why the men tried to get him alone, without the support of companions. That way, he would have no one to help him up, to give him the courage to keep fighting, hope to keep his head high, strong, ready for whatever threat would come next. Everything seemed less threatening in that light. Something he would prefer. Just hope that it would all be worth it in the end. So, I'm guessing the meeting is over then? The cat asked, looking at each of his friends. It can be, Squid said with a shrug. After all, we still have a game to play before some of us head off to return home. Right, the cat agreed, looking at his other friends. He could feel a pang of sadness as well as happiness for them. He knew they would be safe and happy, even though it meant letting go. It wasn't like he hadn't done that before. He knew he would see them again. And perhaps not due to a threatening level like kidnapping or near-death experiences. Just between two groups of friends having a great time. And maybe, someday, that would happen. But until then, he would just have to enjoy the moment he was in at this moment. Because he might never have a chance like it again. Hello! We made it all the way to chapter 9. Oh boy. Things are about to get intense. Well, it's not scary yet. Not intense, but things are about to happen. Soon. I can't say much. Hello! Yay, dear Queen! Dear Queen's here. How are you? How are you? Yay. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Almost an hour. Oops. Not meant to do that. Oh my goodness. I didn't mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. Excuse. Pretty interesting. Oh boy. The day had passed faster than the boy had expected. All of his friends had a fun time playing the game that they had finished. And stay awake, and the boy had observed the next. Yeah, live stream. I have seen his live stream. I did see his live stream. I was one of the first ones who hopped on. Pretty much. Before it went live. Because I have my ways of making sure I know when it goes. There's a way on Discord that it just pops up the stream before it actually goes live. Oh, yeah. It's very interesting. like once you link someone's YouTube, and yeah, you get to see other stuff. That's cool. Cool stuff. Boy had observed next to Duncan and Mints, the inseparable pair, as his friends played together. There weren't many games he could play, but he did enjoy watching his friends overplay them. It was just as fun. The boy looked up at the sky to see that the morning had turned into afternoon. He couldn't believe he had said goodbye to his friend Connor, while Rose was picking him up to come somewhere safe. Not to school, but a safe house, until she knew it was okay for him to return home. He was glad to know his friend was in good hands, but no doubt Connor would be worried about him. If he knew just how bad each man could be, he could tell that the cat had felt the same a few hours before. But right now, there was no trace of fear or uncertainty, just cheerful and gleeful joy. And that made the boy happy. The cat looked around the area. Wait, what? Excuse me. That was a fail. Mr. A is the man behind it all. The man behind all the dangers, the threats, and all the men that try to capture and murder YouTubers. Yeah. He has something against them. And he wants to see them all dead. And he's tried to hurt Stampy before. It's not fun. It's not fun. It's like, his scenes are probably one of the darkest of all these books. His scenes are probably one of the darkest ones. It's like, they're not horribly dark, but they get dark. Get a little dark. A little scary. That's why they're not brought kids under the age of 13. I keep saying it. It's not for younger kids. It's scary. Don't fall asleep, please. Last thing I want you to do. I don't know. He's just a character in my book. It's like, he replaces what Hit the Target would be, but Hit the Target is still a minor villain in the story. It's like, he's so small, he hasn't shown up at all since after the second book, pretty much. Plus, like, could be. It's like, he's an alternate universe baddie. A baddie of baddies. A baddie. It's like, in the leveling world that we know in videos, it's a different world compared to the one we read here. Where Mr. A doesn't know about Stampy, or doesn't exist at all. Like, he doesn't know about Stampy, and Gerald didn't discover the lovely world yet. Gerald had to discover it, wait for months, and watch Stampy and his friends and doing all that stuff. And then the events of the first book happened. And then Gerald is like a second in command for Mr. A. And RJ, Mr. A's brother, is also a creepy guy too. He's probably creepier than Mr. A himself. Clockwork. Eh? It's not that dark. That dark. It's just not for young kids. Not for young kids. Sam looked around the area, taking in a moment to move his gaze from his friends to the nearby scenes that were around him. It was fairly quiet and calm, but the boy was far more alert than he had been before. So far, just before, there didn't seem to be anything. No man in Mr. A's uniform watching them. No copter flying through the air. Not even the sighting of their trademark. That was also the plan to destroy the YouTubers, what he and the cat called the Clockwork plan. Creepy and dark. Dark stuff. I don't think it's that dark. I've heard plenty of creepypastas. I try not to get that dark. I try not to. I try my best not to get that dark. Older drafts have got that dark, but I try not to get that dark. Oh boy. The Clockwork plan! The plan to destroy the YouTubers. Back in the first book. Cool. The boy let out a long sigh, not sure if he wanted to be relieved that there was no threats around, or uneasy because of the eerie silence. Could Mr. A's men really be this quiet? It reminded the boy of the short time he'd had with the cat, when there had been no sign of them except for his kidnapping attempts, and the copter that had been seen to capture the cat. It seemed so similar. It was as if the men wanted them to forget about them. Well, that certainly wasn't happening, especially now that they'd been attacked by only last night by one of the men who had imprisoned the cat. Certainly wouldn't be a problem anymore. If only it was that easy to do that for Mr. A. And his men. The boy heard a soft whine from beside him as he looked down at Duncan, to see Duncan sitting loyally next to the black and white cat, Mint. The dog looked up at him and gently wagged his tail, content and alert. You don't see anything out of the ordinary, do you? The boy asked the dog. Duncan whined and looked back at up to his master, who was still too busy having fun to be concerned about what was going on around him. It does seem rather quiet, doesn't it? The boy said simply. I'm not really sure how I should feel about it, but you tell me if something was wrong, right? The dog barked and wagged his tail even harder. That made the boy smile. He knew that the dog would do its part to ensure his master was safe. If there was a threat, they would know about it. But if the dog seemed pretty chill about it, you could relax a little bit. Still, he wanted to stay alert in case something did happen and the dog didn't catch it. It was only a matter of time before something did happen. Maybe not right after an attack on the cat last night, but that would be too easy and too soon. If he knew one thing, it was the fact that the men liked to surprise their victims when they least expected it. The boy looked back up to where his friends were, enjoying their time, and he couldn't believe that some of his friends would be leaving soon. He couldn't really imagine what they would do without these guys, but he knew that they were indeed only one call away. They'd be there in a moment if they knew something was wrong, and they could handle what the men threw at them. It wasn't like he hadn't done that before. They just had to avoid being outsmarted and overpower their enemy by smarts and skill. It took a lot of courage to fight back, but the boy knew it was worth it. Yeah, I don't really care anymore. Grammarly's making changes a lot, so I just don't bother. Because if I try to edit it, I could risk crushing my everything. I don't want that. Everyone's mind off. The game until it was finally finished. Something that was totally worth it to take everyone's mind off everything that was going on. They had fun, and the boy knew that it was something they all needed to simply get away from the burdens and stress of the looming threat over their heads. Knowing that the men were still out there and it almost didn't let me up quick. They had fun, and the boy knew that it was something they all needed to simply get away from the burdens and stress of the looming threat over their head. Knowing the men were still out there and not knowing when they might strike next, something no one should have to go through alone, and the boy was glad that this wasn't the case. Sam watched as each of his friends came down. Even the helpers had decided to join them in this crazy fun game that they all built together. It was something he was used to seeing, and he didn't mind it in the slightest. Even though he wished his friends could see it, at least he knew that they were safe, just as he would do his part to make sure his friends here were safe. If this was the right thing to do it was the right thing to do after all. No. So, what do we do now? Nettie asked, being the first to speak of the group. That is really interesting. To speak. After laughing and enjoying each other's company most of the time. Jimmy, Solidarity, Nettie's best friend. He's either Jimmy or Timmy, but I call him Jimmy, just because I call him Jimmy. Though in the Trial of the Three Chimps, I did joke about name Timmy. The second one. I did a joke about that one, just for fun, but this had nothing to do with the Clockwork Chronicles. Martin, her husband. But in this, she's just her. Well, it's pretty much a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship at this point. It's like I reset the relationship a little bit. Same with Stampy and Squishy. I don't say anything about Dan and all that. Clearly he has a child of his own, but I don't talk about it because at this time of writing I didn't know. Then again, I can easily explain that away, like he's hiding it. It's a secret. It could be years later and he's hiding it as a secret. Because he doesn't want anyone to know. He doesn't want the bad people to know. He only trusts a few people. But it's something like that. Trust. Yeah. The cat shrugged. Anything, really. We could play more games if you'd like. It's just a fun day. I'm in. Sounds like fun to me, Squid mused, and then looked at the boy. You okay with that? Sam shrugged. It's Martin's, Jimmy's, and Nettie's last day here for a while. How about they decide? Sounds great, Jimmy said with a smile. I'm in for more games. Just fun. For more. Give me more, Same point said. Nettie hesitated before nodding her head. We could play a few other games that we haven't played in a while. Good. Squid. The cat nodded. Let's just hope none of them broke recently. You know what I mean? I have to. Martin chuckled. Do you know what wants to work? Think so? I guess that's slowly, not sounding completely confident about that statement. We'll figure it out as we go along, Squishy replied happily. It'll be fun. I couldn't agree more, Squid said with a laugh. The boys smiled and nodded as they all began walking down the path, looking at everything to see which games they would play. It took a long moment before the three friends decided on one they took turns playing. The boy watched as his friends played game after game, looking around to see whether or not there was someone watching them. He doubted it, but the boy had a feeling every time he looked at the cat. One moment the cat could be happy and having fun, and the next he could look a little uneasy. Something the boy understood firsthand. Was something wrong? It's just nerves. After all, the cat had been tortured twice by the men that led the group, Mr. A. They wanted to destroy people like him. He had been imprisoned by a traitor to the cause, Gerald, who knew how to get to him and try to crush him, to threaten him in the right ways. The boy could understand his friend's nervousness, but normally it could be hidden well by a smile. This time, though, it seemed stronger. It started this morning when he had first seen his friend. Was there something wrong? He wasn't sure. Sam looked around the area again, taking his time to focus on every little detail. There didn't seem to be anything that was out of the ordinary. So what could it be? Perhaps it was nerves, and over time his friend would get better. After all, he'd been recently attacked not too long ago. He could still be recovering from that. The boy turned back to the game, confident that nothing seemed out of the ordinary. And as they moved on to the next couple of games, he could see a shift in the cat's expression, more happiness, enjoying the time with his friends. But it was still a good idea to check with his friend, just to make sure. Again, it could be nothing at all, but being sure was better than assuming things that might not be completely true. Sam watched his friends play a couple more games before finally calling it a day, as the sun neared the horizon, just beginning its descent into the sky, turning the day into the night. My eyes jumped. They began to walk back together. The boy keeping an eye on the cat as he walked beside Squid and Squishy. Followed behind by his other three friends, all of them looking tired but happy. It was a great way to end the visit in the lovely world, to celebrate just how far they had come to get here. And the boy wouldn't have it any other way. It was a far happier day, a fun day, and he knew there would be more like it in the future. Especially if the helpers take the stress off their minds. If it helped, Mr. A couldn't stop them from having fun, no matter what, and that was a fact. The boy noticed as they walked that the helpers were surrounding the 6 YouTubers. He had the rear, while Fiddy had the front. Polly and William taking the other sides of the tight squeeze as they walked through the funland and headed back to the town. He wasn't sure if the others would notice, but did it really matter? Seeing that they had a part in ensuring everyone here was safe was something he appreciated from his silent friends. Even though they couldn't say a word, the actions that they took to work on keeping everyone safe spoke louder than anything else the boy knew of. And that felt good. He had helpers that he could rely on, that his friends could rely on. And even though not all of them were fighters, that did not mean that they couldn't help. Helpers had taught him that much. They made it out of the funland and instantly back to the town, the buildings lighting up around them as the torches grew brighter. I will not be sending out any personal information. Thank you very much. And I discourage from anyone doing the same. They made it out of Funland, instantly back to the town. The buildings lighting up around them as the torches grew brighter as the night sky began to darken. Starry blackness. I know you're 12, but that doesn't mean you can say stuff like that. Yeah. Just the monsters. He just hoped that they wouldn't try to stop them from going forward. So they got home, the better he would feel walking out into the town. Sure, it was a lovely night at night, but he didn't really like the monsters all that much. Googlies. Okay, that's fine. Asking is fine, but I said my answer. The boy could now see the cat's house ahead, perfectly intact and unchanged. It was certainly amazing for the boy to see something different and unique in his own way, just like everything else here. He could see his friends looking eager to get to the house, ready to call it a night. The boy had a feeling he knew who would stay up to guard the cat's bedroom today. And the boy felt glad knowing that they were working together to make sure everyone was safe. The boy watched as, "You're not scaring me. I'm just telling you don't share any personal information." Doesn't matter how old you are. Whether you're 8, 12, 23, 46, 100. Sharing personal information online is not always a good idea, especially if someone can find you. And that's not something we want. The boy watched as Fiddy opened the door to the YouTubers, letting each and every one of them in as William stood guard as the boy walked in. "Thank you, Fiddy, William, and Polly," the cat replied as he noticed the reindeer with the others, probably taking the route to the left garden to get back to her home. William managed to smile as he nodded, as he gestured for the boy to go inside. Sam did as he was told, feeling as if he was ready to go to bed. He was tired, but not exhausted, but he wanted to make sure his friends would be all right. Sam climbed the stairs as he headed to where the cat's bedroom and the guest room would be. The boy paused by the cat's room, peeking through the hole to see that the cat was talking to Squid. That's not correct. Peeking through the window. To see that the cat, it's alright. To see that the cat was talking to Squid, who seemed a little concerned. The boy watched as Squid checked the room, as if to make sure everything was alright. "Well, William should be just outside tonight if you need him," Squid said. "Oh, nothing is there," Squid said at last. "But everything here does seem fine." "You're absolutely sure?" the cat asked. The last time you said that, the man came into my room and attacked me. Squid smiled sheepishly. You didn't have someone at your door waiting to help at any sign of trouble last time. True, the cat sighed. But how can you be sure something is happening? We have our way, Stamps, Squid said, putting a hand on the cat's shoulder. You trust us, don't you? The cat nodded. Of course I do. Then no, we won't let anything happen to you, Squid replied. I do know, the cat said, pinching a smile. Thanks, Squid. Checking again. Ah, you asked me to do it this time, Squid pointed out. Cat nodded. Just wanted to make sure. Well, you've got nothing to worry about tonight, the cat Squid replied matter-of-factly. We can handle this. Good night, then, Squid, the cat replied. Night, Stampy, Squid said with a nod as he walked out the door. The boy scrambled back as he rushed over to the stairs, not wanting to be caught eavesdropping. The boy climbed up the stairs as he heard Squid talking to who the boy assumed to be William. Yeah. So the boy assumed would be William as he went to the bedroom and walked aside. He went over to one of the beds and climbed in, ready to get some sleep. Sam? The boy asked quietly from the far side of the room. The boy looked over to see Squishy watching him curiously. Yeah? The boy asked simply, unsure of whether or not she could see the guilt on his face. Do you think everything will be all right once the others leave? She asked him. I hope so, the boy replied. They'll also be one call away if you need them. Bye. See you in a bit. Whatever that is. I know. You too. You too. I know, she said with a nod. What about them? Will they really be safe at home? Sam hesitated before responding. I'm pretty sure they'll be fine. And if not, we'll do what we can to help. She smiled. That sounds like a good plan. Yeah, the boy replied. They didn't say anything for a long moment. As the boy fidgeted the blanket as he looked over at the duckling. Good night, Sam, the duckling said at last. Night, Squishy, the boy said with a smile as he watched as she snuggled into her sheets and laid his head on the pillow, making sure she was comfortable before he lay back in his bed. Laid her head, and soon found himself falling asleep, welcoming with open arms. Tomorrow would be a start for another change. Hopefully it would be something, wouldn't be something anyone would regret. Chapter 10. The cat woke up early the next morning, just as the sun was beginning to rise. Oh no. I'm moving to the closet. No, not right now. No, that's not good. Of course she wouldn't know I'm live streaming because that's just late. Even though it says on my door, it says I'm recording. She would know that. It's fine here, though. Pretty sure you can't hear it from over here. And I'm just standing. I could end it here. Don't know. I'm probably going to get this copyrighted, so. But it's not intentional. Ugh. It's annoying when that happens. I'm standing. Don't know if I should be standing for this long, but I'm staying. On shoes. On shoes. Cat woke up early the next morning, just as the sun was beginning to rise. Looking up at the ceiling, as the first rays of dawn trickled from his balcony window into his bedroom. He didn't usually wake up this early, but he found it somewhat difficult to sleep that night. There hadn't been any nightmares, which was something that did happen from time to time. Dreams recalling the horrors and torture he had endured, or recalling fears hidden deep inside that he was afraid the men might expose. But that hadn't been what had kept him awake for a small portion of the night. Stampy let out a long sigh as he sat up in bed and rubbed the sleepers out of his eyes. It was safe to say that no one had tried to attack him so far, which is good. But after what had happened only a couple of nights ago, he was still a little unsure. He looked around the quiet room, pulling back the covers as he put his feet on the floor. He needed some fresh air and time to think. After all, Nettie and her friends were leaving this morning, sorry. Hang on. I'm streaming! It's a little loud. What? I'm streaming. You turn it down a little bit. Well, you wouldn't see the recording sign on my door, would you? Here we go. Let's do it. Darrell, Nettie, and her friends were leaving this morning, and he wanted to make sure they were safely off to where they belonged. And why shouldn't he be? He cared about them as friends, and he didn't want them to get ambushed as soon as they crossed through. Was that possible? Would their friends really risk that? Would the men really do something like that? He wasn't sure, but the thought of them still sent shivers up and down his spine. The cat heard a low whine as he looked down to see Barnaby lying down obediently in his dog bed, not making any move to get up as the cat came down to his knees to see his little companion. "You are really brave back there," the cat told him softly, gently stroking the dog's head. "I'm really proud of you, you know?" The dog whined again, and licked the cat's paw as he gazed at his master with the deepest brown eyes the cat had ever seen. They were intelligent eyes, understanding eyes, eyes that seemed to see right through him into the depths of his soul. "Don't look at me like that, Barnaby," the cat said with a slight discomfort. "You'll see the end soon, and besides, I'm fine. We're all fine, see?" The dog whined again and licked the cat's paw again before snuggling closer against the cat. Cat stroked the dog, trying to figure out what his friend was trying to say. But perhaps he just wanted to be with him, even for a moment. "You did what you thought you needed to," the cat told the dog softly. "No one's mad at you for doing that. In fact, I could even go as far as saying that you're a hero." The dog barked happily and wagged his tail, making the cat laugh. "Yeah, I know that, but right now, things are much different. The dangers are more real. They affect me, my friends, my world, everything. I don't want to lose any of it because those men think they can take it away from me." The cat sighed. And the dog whined softly, licking the cat's paw again. It's a far scarier threat than I've ever faced before, Barnaby. I don't think I can do this all on my own." The dog barked again, finally sitting upright and sniffing the air around him before thumping its tail to the ground. Determined. The cat smiled sadly. "Yeah, you are right. I am not really alone here, but if there's a time where I have been face those men alone, I'm not sure I could do it. Not yet, anyway." The dog growled softly, nudging the cat's paw back away from the dog as the dog shook himself. The cat cocked his head curiously as the dog barked again. Stampy listened to the dog for a long moment, warned by the growls and barks of a determined and loyal friend. Maybe someday I will, that I'm sure, but it's what I really don't know. Can I really be brave enough to stand up to those men before they crumble every single thing that I'm standing on so firmly? Can I stop them before they take everything from me? Charles threatened me before, and no doubt I've escaped Mr. A twice. That shouldn't mean anything good for me. What does that mean for everyone else? Can I really do this? The dog barked again, confident and firm. The cat smiled and nodded. I could really use all the help I can get, if that ever comes to be. The cat stood up and began walking over to the balcony, opening the door to let in the fresh morning air, crisp and new, and innocence that could not be denied. It looked beautiful to witness the light glowing on the several buildings that you could see. A deep purple to a bright pink, a cherry orange, and a radiant yellow. The midnight sky slowly turned into a crisp blue, deeper than the bluest ocean. A slight breeze brushed against his fur. He closed his eyes, took a deep breath, taking all seeds of flowers, grass, and a bit of smoke from the mouthtrap. Unpleasant, but still, he wasn't sure he wanted to get rid of it, but he ignored the smell, since it sent a tingle down his spine, just thinking about what it reminded him of. Does this always have to happen every time he woke up in the morning? Would he always be uneasy around fire and dark outdoors when it did nothing wrong to him? Well, the dwarves didn't anyway. Fire, on the other hand. The cat gasped when a hand suddenly fell on his shoulders. The cat whirled around to see William beside him, looking concerned. His friend. Sorry, it's okay. You just scared me, the cat said shakily, quickly regaining its composure. Smiled sadly at his friend. So I'm assuming you've been keeping an eye on me tonight. Beaver nodded, lowering his hand slowly, cocking his head at his friend, curious as he looked out. The world they both knew. So, I honestly can't believe Nettie and the others are leaving, the cat finally said to his friend. The beaver nodded and looked around the area, as if making sure there was no threats nearby. The cat couldn't blame its friend. So you're gonna take us to the portal and see our friends off? The beaver shrugged and raised an eyebrow, as if challenging the cat on that. The cat smiled and shook his head. They should be getting ready to go in a few hours, but I can't get back to sleep. I just want to make sure they're safe. William nodded, seeming to understand the cat's concern. The cat smiled again as he looked out into the lovely world, the breeze brushing against his orange fur. Took a deep breath, letting in its freshness, ignoring the fire and smoke that wasn't too far away. He tried avoiding it and forgetting about it for so long, and yet every time he smelled even a hint of smoke, saw a glint of fire, that nerved him more than a slight unease to dark outdoors. He had gotten over that fear, and yet the fire still stuck with him, both in his memories and in his nightmares. Cat swallowed as he tried to push the memories out of his mind, wanting to forget the horrors he'd suffered. It was too much to bear, and he certainly didn't want his friend to see just how weak he was. But the scent of smoke wasn't the only thing scaring him now. Stampy shook away the lingering thought in the back of his mind, the question he was afraid to ask. He knew the men were still out there. He knew what they were capable of. And sure, his friends might be safe for now, but what couldn't be said that something suddenly happened to them? Or to him? What if no one could stop it? There was something he didn't know, and it frightened him. He knew the men's plans, but not necessarily for him or his friends. All he knew was that they wanted to make a point to everyone that they would stop at nothing to be rid of him. Especially if the people found out he kept escaping. Wouldn't Mr. A or even Gerald triumph over the death of a victim as a victory? His death as a victory? Evoking fear in the hearts of hundreds, if not thousands of YouTubers? That thought scared him. He didn't want to know the answer to that. He never did. He felt a hand on his shoulder again. The cat looked to see William watching him. The beaver could clearly see the struggle, question he was facing. He might not know what was bothering him, but he knew fear when he saw it. That was how William was wired. He was a warrior, thorough and thorough. Sabby smiled sadly. What do you expect from a threat who's been hiding for weeks? What are they waiting for? What do they want? Why do they want me so badly? The beaver shook his head, having no way of responding to the cat. Cat swallowed and nodded. That's not the only thing that's scaring me, to be fair. Those men are still out there, and that means no one is safe. What does one do then, at that point? The beaver shrugged and glanced at the cat curiously, raising an eyebrow. The cat looked away, knowing what his friend was suggesting, without saying a word. I know you'll try your best, but can it be enough? The beaver nodded, full of confidence in the gesture. The cat managed to smile and looked over at his friend. Thank you, William. You don't know how much that means to me. William smiled and gave his friend a quick side hug before pulling away. Slight grin on the beaver's features. As the cat noticed, the beaver glanced over to the shoulder before gesturing inside. You're probably right, the cat nodded, hesitating as he looked out at the calm world that surrounded him. I just feel better here. Connected, free. Just on my balcony. Happy. Even if it's only temporary. The beaver nodded, looking unsure before standing next to his friend, as if waiting and protecting the cat as he stood on the balcony. That was the greatest thing about his helpers. They knew what he needed, when he needed time to enjoy the moment, or just to be there. There wasn't a need to rush, no need to get things done quickly, just to be together, as friends, enjoying the fresh morning air on a perfect day. If only he had more days like this. Perhaps he would, someday, but right now, he wanted to enjoy the here and now, because he never knew when he'd get another opportunity like this again. It was beautiful and worth it. Every single moment was something he would treasure for a long time to come. This will probably be the last part of what we're reading today. My voice is going, and I'm going to try my best to finish it. To get back to my feet now. Okay. A few hours had passed, and the cat could tell the others were just starting to wake up. He had moved back from the balcony and into his bedroom, hanging out with Willie and Barnaby, enjoying each of their companies. The sun was already midway across the sky. Mid-morning had arrived, which meant that his friends would be leaving very soon. A sad thought, but it felt more bittersweet because he knew that he would see them again. The cat sat on his bed as he heard the door open and someone walking in. The cat turned to see Squid standing by the door, looking momentarily surprised to see him up already. How good was I? Squid mused with a smile. I was wondering if you were up early. Martin, Jimmy, and Nettie are ready to go. Squishy and I are going to be taking them to the portal. Omlet, you want to join? Of course I do, the cat insisted. What about Sam? Is he coming? He's going to be able to communicate or contact our friends, or hear from them, saying that they've arrived safely, the squid said with a smile. I thought you would want to know that. We all would, I suppose, the cat said honestly. You're not wrong, Squid said with a smile. Then he gestured for the cat to follow him. Now come on, the others are waiting. William is coming too, the cat replied as he stood. And the beaver nodded, as to confirm this. Squid smiled. I thought you would say that, Stamps. Come on now. There's no need to be slow. The cat laughed as he followed his friend out of the door and down the hallway, walking out into the love garden, where he met the others who were waiting for them. And Cat couldn't help but feel a wave of sadness as he saw his three friends. Does it really have to be this way? But it was their choice, and he had to respect that. That didn't mean he liked it, though. Looks like the party's together then? Martin asked, matter-of-factly, glancing at everyone, keeping a head count. Yeah, I think it's bigger than I thought it would be. Though it's bigger than I thought it would be, Jimmy said thoughtfully. I wouldn't expect less from my brother. He mused with a smile. Cat smiled in return, feeling a sense of joy and contentment, knowing she would be going to friends who could keep her and her other friends safe. And to the cat, that was more important than anything else. After all, Gerald had tried to use her to get to him before, which had failed. And for that, they were all lucky. Come on then. Sooner we get there, the less time our friends have to wait, Martin said quickly. No doubt, the idea of saying goodbye, even for a short amount of time, was hard on all of them. Everyone nodded as they began heading out, and in no time at all they arrived at the portal, which had been repaired after the men had broken it to try to stop anyone from coming through. It had amused the boy when he told the cat about it. The cat knew exactly what the boy had meant by it, and it still made him smile to think just how gullible these people were. Sadly, enough to believe he was a traitor when he had done nothing hurt or threatened anyone. Martin walked over to check the portal as Nettie turned to face the other three friends. A look of sadness in her eyes. You three will be okay? We'll be fine, you'll see, she assured her softly, going over to give her friend a hug. Don't let us take you away from what makes you happy. I'm not, it's just... She hesitated before shaking her head. I'm gonna miss you guys. You can always visit, the cat offered. I'd love that. Yeah, Squishy agreed, pulling away from her friend. Squid and I made a choice here to help. You don't have to worry about whether or not Stampy will be safe, because he will be. Which made me smile sadly, looking at the other two. You've really come a long way, Stampy. I'm really proud of you. All of you helped, the cat insisted, before being surprised by a hug from the bush baby. I'm just glad you could, she said at last, before pulling away. Just promise me you'll be careful, all of you. We will, the cat promised her softly. You bet we will, Squid said confidently, and that's the truth. The bush baby chuckled as she turned to the others. They were waiting eagerly for her as she turned back. I thought it would be easier to say goodbye the second time, but it's just as hard as first, if not more. We'll see each other again. Just you wait, Squid said with a mischievous smile. I'm sure we will, she nodded as she looked at the cat. I'll see you soon, Stampy. Same for you, Nettie, the cat said, waving as she walked over to her friends, waving before following them through. She waved before following. She returned the wave before following them to the portal. Through the portal, disappearing from sight. Yeah, that was a really confusing one. Well, it won't be long before Sam gets a response, Squishy said happily with the tears in her eyes. I'm almost certain it'll be good. Me too, Squid agreed. How about we go back to the house and decide what to do next from there? Come with me? The cat nodded, simply, as they began walking back, but the cat got no more than 5 feet before he felt a strong feeling of someone watching him. Such a chill through his spine as his heart stood an end. Something wasn't quite right. Had someone seen their friends go through the portal? Were they waiting for them to go before going in? Was there something else that the strange presence wanted? Who was it? Most of the people who could have been it were either gone or with him right now. Was he surrounded by friends? He was surrounded by friends, but still felt vulnerable against the unseen eyes of someone watching him. It made him uncomfortable, sent a shudder through his spine. Is everything all right, Stampy? Squid asked. Oh, Danny. Looking immediately concerned. You look scared. Are you? Cat asked, startled by the squeak in his voice. Yeah, Squid, she nodded in agreement, concern also on her features. You've been acting off after the man attacked you a couple nights ago. Cat shook his head. Probably nothing. Besides, whatever it is can't hurt me. But what is it? The squid asked. I don't know, the cat said simply. It was happening for a few days now, but it's probably just my imagination. It get pretty wild, you know? The squid didn't seem too convinced by the cat's simple explanation. Well, if something is wrong, just let us know, okay? Squid asked slowly. I will, I promise, the cat said sincerely. A part of him wasn't sure if it really was important enough to share, but what could they do about it? What if it was nothing? But then the thought of one of those men, or even Gerald, watching him. He felt a hand on his shoulder and looked to see William standing right beside him, full diamond armor. Clearly, he seemed to know something was wrong. The others seemed to get the picture, but sternness in the beaver's expression. I want to go home. I want to get home, the cat said at last, noticing the feeling was disappearing as he said those words. I think it'll be safer for all of us that way. Very well, but I think you have some explaining to do, the squid said firmly. It's not something you should hide. Please, I'm fine, the cat insisted. Really? Still, it wouldn't hurt to get home, the squid said with a shrug. The squid nodded, and the four of them headed back to the house, the cat having feeling his friends would interrogate him until he told them what was going on. How could he explain it? Especially if they wouldn't let him do anything until they heard the truth, but he wasn't sure he wanted to. He didn't want to worry them or think he was imagining things. It could be nothing, but it could be something. The fact that he didn't know scared him slightly. He pushed it aside. He thought of returning home. It was a safe place. A haven where he could be free of any threats and troubles. He had nothing to worry about. He had nothing to be afraid of. So, why was he so scared? And that's it for today. And yep. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm probably going to have to end it soon anyway because, yep, somebody will probably be home soon and I want them to be able to have access to the bedroom as well. So, I'm going to end it here. So, everybody will be fine, and everybody will be happy, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and this will be up as a video later, if you just dropped in, and yeah, it'll be also in the playlist, as always, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one, whatever that might be, because it's gonna get a little intense next time. But you're just gonna have to wait and see, I guess. Till then, goodbye.